Hi, my name is Sean Mabry. I'm a writer, and today I wanted to touch on what I've been doing lately and actually go on a bit of a rant because this last week I went up to San Jose for the Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within event, and there's so many things I could say about that. I had some enormous personal revelations there, but all I will say is go do it. If you've ever been even remotely curious about that event in particular, or really anything related to Tony Robbins, go do it. Seriously, go do it. I mean, whatever I tell you, it was life-changing, but whatever I tell you won't even come close to the personal revelations you will have that are already waiting inside of you to come out. I mean, that's where the real magic comes from, so just go do it. If you haven't if you somehow haven't heard of Tony Robbins yet, just go check out his stuff. I mean, like, look him up, just Google him. I mean, look, he's got like multiple podcasts out there. He's got a blog. I mean, there's email lists. There's all kinds of really great free stuff you can get from him and his team. Start with that. And I mean, I used this free stuff for years before I even got into his coaching program and his info products and all that. Which leads me to self-help. I am so deeply into self-help that I'm actually one of those slightly snobby people that gets annoyed by the phrase self-help. If anything, I kind of prefer to use personal development, but I want to talk about self-help because it still somehow gets a bad rap, and I think in particular I notice how rare it is to see my fellow writers diving into self-help the way that they should, frankly. And really, this goes for a lot of creative types. In fact, I think that there's this really toxic culture around creative people that says, oh, you're creative, you have great ideas, you have a great talent. That means you never have to develop personally. That means just because you make such beautiful music, or you write such imaginative stories, or you paint such beautiful paintings, you don't need to be a better human being. You don't need to work on your health. You don't need to work on your finances. You don't need to have basic good social interaction skills. You don't need to take good care of your family. You don't need to be a good friend to your friends. Somehow, magically, that one thing that you're good at takes care of everything else. We do give this pass to a lot of other people, but it's never good. I mean, you kind of see the same dynamic surrounding athletes. You kind of see the same dynamic in business, although I feel like in business it's a little bit tougher. Well, then again, look at our president. But anyway, the point of all this is to say that I think we're at this really fascinating moment in the humanities where traditional publishing is falling down, and it's not going to come back, at least not in a recognizable form, not anytime soon. It's not going to be what it was like in the old world. Because let me describe you for a second the old world. In the old world, you could be an artist with an incredible talent, and if you had incredible persistence, if you were willing to be rejected by 50 different literary agents before finally that 51st agent agrees to publish your book, you could very slowly and very steadily build up your reputation among the gatekeepers, and yes, distantly among the audience too, but more among the gatekeepers, and work yourself up to a position where you could actually get a good deal. You could actually get paid for the books you write, or the music or the art that you create, begrudgingly on the part of the property owners, and then you could build a career that way. You could build a platform that way. And during all this time, you could be a raging alcoholic, or a raging misogynist, or like a Harvey Weinstein. You could be a Harvey Weinstein. And in the middle of all this, there just wasn't the kind of transparency we have today. These people would become icons, and no one would really know about their personal lives until years later. Where, for example, only now is it common knowledge that William Faulkner was terrible to his family, and in some ways so was Hemingway. I mean, Hemingway was a raging alcoholic, and there was this bizarre imbalance where it's almost like the system was designed with this permissiveness built in. You could be disproportionately good at this one thing, and then you could be terrible in every other aspect of your life. And now that the traditional infrastructure is falling down, I think what we're saying now is that more than ever, the burden is on us as artists, as creators, as writers, as dreamers, to be better people, to be more effective, stronger, better, kinder people, to have our fucking shit together, and to take control of our own destinies. You know, with self-publishing being easier than it ever has been before, not only can we design our own businesses and hold on to our intellectual property rights and retain creative and financial control of our work, I now believe it's a moral imperative. And it's a moral imperative because when you commit to that journey, you have zero slack on the line. You can't afford to also be a drunk. You can't afford to also be a lousy friend or to hang around lousy friends that will drag down your own productivity and infect you with their own weak values. You have to become a better person. You have to not only be a great person right now, you have to become an incrementally better person every year to keep up with the demands of not just being a great artist, but also being a great business person. And you know what? I'm all for it. I'm so for it. And frankly, I understand why so many people still resist this. It took me a long time to come around to this idea, because it's fear. That's all it is. It's fear. People are resistant to taking this journey because they think, like, you know, they're worried. They're worried that maybe they just don't have it in them. They don't have the guts. They don't have the courage to be both, to be able to wear multiple hats, or they have those bad habits. They have those vices that they want to hold on to. And they'll take any fucking excuse they can get. They'll take any fucking excuse they can get to not improve, to not let sunlight act as the best disinfectant in their lives when they have to patch the boat because the water is rising and there are constantly higher expectations on them. You know, we're in this place now where art and entrepreneurship are melding into one in this fascinating way. And if you understand what's happening right now and you take full advantage of it and you stop making excuses for yourself, this is the best time, hands down, no comparison, the best time ever to be alive as an artist, and not just as someone who happens to write or happens to paint or happens to sing, but a real fucking artist, someone who is designed to do this stuff, someone who has a message and a unique point of view, someone who gets it stuck in their craw when there's something, just when there's like that little 2% of imperfection in their work. Now, of course, that's not saying we can let ourselves be perfectionists and never publish, but if you're that committed to getting it right, if you're that committed to doing something excellent, to doing something outstanding and never seen before, now is your time. You just have to understand what the journey really is. Again, there's no slack on the line, and trust me, you don't want any. Because I can tell you, it's a process, right? This isn't just like an on and off switch I flipped one day, but the more I lean into this idea that this is the real journey now, that I am both artist and entrepreneur, my life becomes so much more exciting. And I have so much more energy when I wake up in the morning, and I'm so much happier. And I have such a better relationship with myself, and I have a better relationship with my girlfriend, and I have a better relationship with my family. And I mean, literally, my grandma is in the process of dying right now. I'm literally losing my grandmother right now, and it does hurt, and I am starting to grieve. But it's not shaken me, because now I'm unshakable, because I've committed to this journey. This is probably way too long a rant. I'm probably going to delete this video after, well, maybe not, I don't know. This is a lot of stuff I've been needing to say, and I've been needing to say it because it scares me, and it's true, and you need to hear it. And usually if something scares you, it's probably something other people need to hear as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Folks, there's going to be so many more exciting things happening with me. I can feel it. I can feel how much I leveled up this last week. And I can't wait to show you what I'm up to next. There are so many great things coming down the line. See you all next week. Bye.